Vietnam War True Stories, Careless Hathcock, Marine Sniper. In the history of the Vietnam War, few names carry the same weight as Careless Norman Hathcock II. To many Marines, he became a legend. To enemy forces in Vietnam, he became a shadow. A man who could lie motionless for hours in brutal heat, disappear into the jungle, and wait with almost unbelievable patience for one single shot. Careless Hathcock was born in Arkansas in 1942. Long before Vietnam, he learned how to shoot in the woods of the American South. Hunting was not a hobby for him, it was part of life. He learned patience, stillness, breathing, distance, and the importance of taking only the shot that mattered. Those lessons would later follow him to war. Hathcock joined the United States Marine Corps as a young man and quickly proved himself as an extraordinary marksman. Before he ever became famous in Vietnam, he had already won major shooting competitions, including the prestigious Wimbledon Cup at Camp Perry. But target shooting and war were very different worlds. In competition, the range was measured. The target did not move through jungle. No one was firing back. There were no insects, mud, heat, fear, or enemy patrols searching for you. Vietnam would test not only Hathcock's accuracy, but his mind, endurance, discipline, and nerve. When he arrived in Vietnam, Hathcock served with the 1st Marine Division near Da Nang. He was assigned to sniper work at a time when the Marine Corps was still developing and refining its sniper program in Vietnam. Snipers were not simply long-range shooters. Their mission required observation, intelligence gathering, stalking, patience, and the ability to operate in small teams away from larger units. A sniper had to study enemy movement, identify valuable targets, and decide when shooting was worth revealing his position. A single shot could change an entire fight. But a careless shot could get the sniper killed. Hathcock understood that survival depended on invisibility. He learned to blend into the environment. He used camouflage carefully, moved slowly, controlled his breathing, and avoided anything that might draw the eye. The jungle punished impatience. A snapped twig, a careless movement, or a flash of light on metal could reveal a hidden man. For Hathcock, the rifle was only part of the weapon. The real weapon was patience. He became known for wearing a white feather in his bush hat. The symbol was unusual because snipers usually avoided anything that made them memorable. But the white feather became part of his reputation. It was a quiet signal of confidence, and over time, enemy forces began associating it with a deadly Marine sniper they could not easily find. That reputation grew with every mission. Hathcock's confirmed kill count would later be listed at 93, though many believe the actual number was higher because not every shot could be officially confirmed. But numbers alone do not explain why his story became legendary. What made Hathcock different was the difficulty of the missions, the discipline he showed, and the way he approached the sniper's role. He was not reckless. He was not loud. He was not chasing glory. He studied, waited, and acted only when the moment came. One of the most famous stories connected to Careless Hathcock involved an enemy sniper sent to hunt him. The enemy sniper was known to the Marines as the Cobra. This man had reportedly been targeting Marines and was believed to be searching specifically for Hathcock. The situation became a deadly contest between two trained marksmen, each trying to find the other first. In the jungle, that kind of fight was not like the movies. There was no dramatic duel in the open. It was silence, tension, and the knowledge that one mistake could be fatal. Hathcock and his spotter moved carefully through the terrain, watching for the smallest sign of the enemy sniper's position. A reflection, a movement, a shape that did not belong anything could matter. Then Hathcock saw a glint. It was the reflection of light off the enemy sniper's scope. In that instant, Hathcock fired. His bullet traveled directly through the enemy sniper's scope and killed him. The story became one of the most famous sniper accounts of the Vietnam War. Whether discussed by Marines, historians, or later generations of military enthusiasts, it captured the terrifying precision of sniper combat, two men hidden in the jungle, each hunting the other, and the outcome decided in a fraction of a second. But another Hathcock mission became even more legendary because of the endurance it required. The target was a high-ranking enemy officer. To reach him, Hathcock had to crawl across open ground for an extraordinary distance while surrounded by enemy forces. He moved inch by inch through grass, dirt, heat, insects, and danger. This was not a quick mission. It took days. Hathcock had to control every movement. He could not stand. He could not rush. He could not swat at insects or react normally to discomfort. Enemy soldiers were nearby. If they saw anything unusual, the mission would be over and so would his life. At one point, enemy troops came so close that discovery seemed almost certain. Still, he remained motionless. That kind of patience is difficult to imagine. Most people can barely stay still for a few minutes. Hathcock stayed hidden while physically exhausted, exposed to the elements, and surrounded by men who would kill him if they found him. Finally, after crawling close enough, he took the shot and killed the officer. Then he had to escape. The mission demonstrated what made Hathcock so feared. It was not only that he could shoot accurately. It was that he could endure the impossible conditions required to get into position in the first place. A sniper's shot might last 1 second. The mission behind that shot could take days. Hathcock's work also had a powerful psychological effect. Enemy soldiers knew there was a Marine sniper operating in the area. They knew officers, couriers, machine gunners, and other important personnel could be targeted. They knew that movement in the open carried risk. That uncertainty created fear. A sniper did not need to fire constantly to influence the battlefield. Sometimes the possibility of a sniper was enough to slow movement, disrupt routines, and force the enemy to change behavior. Hathcock became part of that invisible pressure. He was often outnumbered, far from safety, and dependent on stealth. His missions required trust between sniper and spotter. The spotter helped read wind, observe the target area, detect movement, and protect the sniper from threats he might not see while focused through the scope. Sniper teams lived in a world of quiet communication. A whisper could be too loud. A hand signal could mean everything. They had to move together, think together, and survive together. But Hathcock's story was not only about deadly skill. It was also about sacrifice. On September 16, 1969, Hathcock's life changed forever. He was riding aboard an armored vehicle when it struck an anti-tank mine. The explosion engulfed the vehicle in flames. Several Marines were trapped and burning. Hathcock was badly burned himself. But instead of thinking only of his own injuries, he helped pull other Marines from the wreckage. He suffered severe burns over much of his body. The injuries were devastating and ended his combat service in Vietnam. He was evacuated and began a long, painful recovery. The man who had survived the jungle, enemy snipers, dangerous missions, and impossible odds was nearly killed not while stalking a target, but while helping others escape a burning vehicle. That moment revealed another side of careless Hathcock. Courage was not only lying hidden behind a rifle. courage was also running into fire to save fellow Marines. After Vietnam, Hathcock continued serving in the Marine Corps. His combat wounds caused lasting pain, but he remained deeply connected to marksmanship and sniper training. He helped shape future generations of Marine snipers, passing on lessons learned the hardest way possible. His influence reached far beyond his own wartime record. He became a symbol of the Marine sniper ideal: discipline, patience, fieldcraft, precision, and quiet professionalism. The stories about him grew over time, but behind the legend was a man who understood the cost of war. Hathcock did not treat killing as entertainment. He saw sniper work as a military duty, dangerous, serious, and demanding. He knew the lives of Marines could depend on stopping enemy threats before they harmed others. That sense of purpose separated him from the myth. The legend of the white feather is powerful, but the real Careless Hathcock was more than a symbol. He was a Marine who trained relentlessly, a marksman who understood patience, a sniper who survived by discipline, a wounded warrior who carried pain long after the battlefield, and a teacher whose influence continued through the Marines he helped train. His story also reminds us that Vietnam was not fought only in massive battles like Ia Drang, Khe Sanh, Hue, or Hamburger Hill. Some of the war was fought in small, silent moments, one sniper team hidden in the jungle, watching, waiting, and trying to survive long enough to complete a mission. For every famous firefight, there were countless unseen hours of observation, fear, sweat, and silence. Careless Hathcock lived in that hidden part of the war. He understood that the jungle could be both shield and trap. He understood that patience could be more powerful than movement. He understood that a single shot could carry the weight of an entire mission. His enemies feared him. Marines respected him. Future snipers studied him. And decades later, his name remains one of the most recognized in Marine Corps history. If you have any photos, videos, or stories to share, please send us a message. And to all veterans, thank you for your service.